This video is going to help you with Algebra 1 in Brain Honey 7.09 Option 1. It's about creating a, what do you call it, a swimming pool. They have a swimming pool thing. It's like 3 times wider than it is deep and so forth. So stay tuned and let me show you how this particular problem works. First off, I'm going to draw a square that represents the swimming pool. And it says in the question, it says to fit the dimensions of the various land aspects, he realizes that the length of the pool has to be 3 times the size of the width. This one would be the width. I'll just mark it with a W. This one up here is the length. I'm just going to use a W and an L just to keep them straight, but I'm going to use X's, I think. So it says that the length has to be 3 times the width. So it's going to be probably easiest if I just call the width X. I don't know what it is yet. I'm just going to call it X. And it says the length has to be 3 times the width. So if that's X, that means this one has to be 3X. Oh, it actually says it has to be 3 times the width plus 3. 3 times the width plus 3. So it's 3X plus 3 is actually the length. So the width is that and the length is that. Okay, so we're off to a good start. Okay, we don't need the W and L anymore, so I'll just erase those 2 things. And the last part is the depth. In the depth, I don't know how to draw it very well. Let's just say I'm going to, oops, I'm on the eraser. Doggone it. Let's say I'm going to be like looking straight down on it. And let's say it looks something like this. Okay, then this is the pool. Okay, so this is like if I'm looking straight down on it, and this part here is the actual bottom of the pool. Okay, so now we got to determine what the depth of it is, and it says in the question, it says the depth has to be 7 less than twice the length. Okay, well that's pretty easy actually. This one here is the length. It has to be 7 less than twice that. So twice that, we would have to take the depth, or sorry, we would have to take the length and multiply by 2 and then subtract 7. So that's what we need to do right over here, is we need to write an expression that's twice the length minus 7. So, and I'll leave that part up to you to figure out. And they're actually, on task 1, 1A, that's what you have to do, is find the length and the depth. So I've given you part of it. All you got to do now is find the depth. And on 1B it says determine the polynomial expression to represent the area of land space that the pool will cover. Well, the area of land space is the area that's around, or sorry, that the pool takes up. So, for example, if I'll do it in yellow here, is if this is your lawn, and I say that you use yellow because I don't have green. If this is your lawn, you know, how much area does the pool take up? You know, let's say your lawn is a certain size. You know that I guess what I'm getting at is the area of the pool does not include the depth of the pool, right? So the area of the pool is going to be multiplying 2 of these things together. Either this one, either this one times this one, or this one times the one I haven't given you, or this one times that one, or this one times that one. I don't know. You're going to have to decide which one you're going to multiply by in order to get the area that the pool takes up. But then what you do is you just take those 2 polynomials and multiply them together, and you're going to get a third polynomial, and that is going to represent the land area that the pool takes up, but I'm not going to tell you which 2. That's up for you to decide. And then they want you to, hold on, let me erase here. Then they want you to determine the volume. So the volume is going to be you're going to use these terms that we've found in here, including the one I haven't given you. You're going to use those terms to figure out the volume. The volume of anything is usually, you know, you multiply three things together, just to give you a very good hint here. And you're not going to come up with a number. It's going to be a polynomial expression, and you're going to have to determine, how to multiply them together. I don't think that they want you to just to write down what you would do. They actually want you to actually multiply them out and then give that to me in your answer. And then finally on 1D, the volume was for C. That's 1C. Finally for 1D, they want you to classify the polynomial. So whatever it is that you get for the volume is going to have some exponents and whatnot. Let me give you an example of this. Is not the right answer. This is not the answer, but I just want to show you something, that if you have 3x squared plus 2x, and again, this is not the answer. I'm just giving you an example. It might look something like this when you're all done. Then they ask you, it says classify the polynomial by degree and number of terms. In this case, this is a degree of 2. Okay, so the degree is 2. Degree. Hopefully your handwriting is better than mine. It's a degree of 2, and the number of terms is 3. That's a review of things that we've already had, but I just thought I'd mention that just in case any of you were wondering. Okay, so I drew it a little neater. I even in red there, and I made it red to show this different. That's the drain to the pool. So the one thing I don't have here, and I'm not going to draw it on here, is the depth of the pool right here. Remember, that's up for you to figure out. So we still don't know the depth, or I haven't given you the depth of the pool. That's easy to figure out, I think, if you follow the instructions. Let me see. The question says now that Bernard forgot to include the walkway around the pool, and that's this area that I'm going to mark in yellow here. He forgot to include this whole area here. Well, every pool, has a walkway around it, and Bernard just forgot about that. So what he wants to do is, it says that you're actually supposed to make up your own numbers, but I tell you what, it's okay if you want to just use the numbers that they give you. They say to make up your own stuff on task 2, but don't worry about it. Just use the pool that we have, and I'm going to even make it a little simpler for you. Okay, I'm going to tell you that I want the walkway to be 3 feet wide. So from here to here is going to be 3 feet, and if that's 3 feet, then this must be 3 feet also. From here, let me draw it like this. That's 3 feet. And if that's 3 feet, guess what this is going to be up here? Yep, 3 feet. So in order to figure out the overall width of what we're talking about, that's the distance from here to here. To figure out the overall width, we know from here to here is x, right? We made up that on the very first thing that I did here. Well, the overall width, including the walkway, is going to be x plus the distance here, but also the distance here. So this one's going to be 3, and this one's going to be 3. So it's not x plus 3 is the width. X plus 6 is actually the width. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that, and they're going to also want the length of this thing too. So you're going to have to determine that, keeping in mind that there's a walkway and everything out there. And then they ask you to now, given this information, what is the land area that the deck and the pool will take up. So the whole overall area is going to be length times width. And we already gave the width. I gave the width as x plus 6. The length we still have to figure out, and that will give us the land area that the whole pool is taking up, right? Let me erase some things here. And then they further want to know the land area of just the deck area. This is task to C. They want to know just the land area of the deck alone. I think the easiest way to you probably can come up with a couple ways to do this, but I think the easiest way to do that is to find the total area. Let me get rid of some things here. Hold on a second. The total area, that's this area. Let me get a different color here. That's this area all the way around here, which we just figured out, and to subtract from that the area in here. So if I take this larger area and subtract the smaller area of just the pool itself, of how much that would take, that would leave us with the area that is in the shaded yellow part, and that would be the area of the deck. Now we're not going to come up with an actual number. That's not going to happen. What you're going to come up with is a polynomial expression for your answer. Okay? Okay, well, I hope that helps. This concludes my video for 709, the pool project, task 1 and 2. I'll make one more video after this to help you with task 3, and I'll be posting that one as well. See you next time.